regular season is now in the rear-view mirror. It is playoff time on Special Edition from the Star in Frisco. The Cowboys, for the second straight year, finished 12-5. They will be the 5 seed out of the NFC. They travel to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football, starting at 7:15. Alongside Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton, I'm Kyle Yeomans. All three of these former Cowboys have been in playoff scenarios. We've got a couple that have won a couple Super Bowl rings back and forth. Sorry, Barry, I didn't mean to bring it up. But you've been to a conference championship game, so that's more than I could say, at least, and more than the Cowboys could say, at least over the last couple of decades. How about that? But really all of this together to say it is a different season for the Cowboys now. It's all over from here. You've got 0-0. You've got to win or go home from here on out. And the first test is Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. But before we talk about the Buccaneer matchup in the wild card round, let's talk about what happened this past Sunday in the final game of the regular season against the Washington Commanders. Cowboys fall in embarrassing fashion, 26-6. And guys, what's the unit you want to see the most improvement from heading into the playoffs?
I want to see improvement from the quarterback position. I need Dak Prescott to start making better decisions, start reading the defense, start making better decisions based upon what the defense is actually presenting him, and put his team in favorable positions. Right now, I feel like he's forcing things, and he's not receiving what they're handing out.
Yeah, for me, it's the pass rush, all right? Especially going against Tom Brady this week, we need to see these guys step it up. They're healthy for the most part, and they have one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League, and Micah Parsons. I need to see what he can do out there.
I need for the offensive line to play better, and I need for them to play with some cohesiveness, man, so we can do what we need for this guy over here, Zeus, to do. Let's have better quarterback play.
Hey, everything's about Isaiah, right? That's who you're trying to impress here. The offense wasn't impressive against Washington. What happened on that side of the ball outside of maybe Dak Prescott? You just mentioned him, but it wasn't just his fault. What went wrong in Washington?
I think it was a lack of continuity. I mean, you just heard Nate allude to it. The offensive line obviously had a couple of pieces in there that hadn't been in there previously. And I think, that's making Dak uneasy, whether it's him not settling his feet, whether his mechanics or his decision-making. Either way, it's all kind of compounding and creating issues for this offense.
Because you're giving up the sacks. It's all right to have 1 or 2 sacks, but it's the hits. It's the multiple hits. It's knocking him off his mark, making his feet stay happy. We can't have that.
And 26 points allowed to Sam Howell and the Washington Commanders offense. Barry, defense wasn't much better.
Yeah, they got to get their mojo back, especially that pass rush, all right? They went against Sam Howell last week. They were able to get after him and get home 3 different times, but overall it just seemed like he was too cool, calm, and collected out there for a guy making his first NFL start. He was able to have too much success against this defense, like you mentioned, passing for a touchdown, rushing for a touchdown. If they cannot get after the quarterback this week, it's going to be a long afternoon for that Dallas Cowboys defense.
And that's going to be hard to do against Tom Brady and crew because those guys are the best in terms of getting the ball out their hands. But in terms of making quarterbacks like Sam Howell look amazing, yeah, you're absolutely right, Barry. These guys are not getting home. They're not getting pressure. And at some point in time, Dan Quinn's going to have to find a resolution for that. Otherwise, they're going to face some problems here.
And they're not going to face Sam Howell in the playoffs. They're going to face the Tom Bradys and the Kirk Cousins. And I guess Brock Purdy, we could throw him in there as well. But that 49ers team's been playing exceptionally well with Brock Purdy behind center. Either way, Dallas is going to have to see an uptick from the offense, defense, and even special teams who struggled against Washington. But when we come back, we turn the page here on Special Edition because we're going to hear from Cowboys COO Stephen Jones on what is going to happen heading into this Cowboys playoff push.
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas. Reliant, an NRG company. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Salvation Army. Love Beyond.
Calling all Cowboys fans, the official Dallas Cowboys wildcard watch party is at the Miller Lighthouse out in Arlington, Texas. Of course, at AT&T Stadium. You can get there at 5:30 when the gates open. Got Cowboys cheerleaders, food trucks, lawn games, music, and a whole lot more. Go watch the playoffs with those of like-minded Cowboys Nation fandom as they prepare to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome back in to Special Edition. Cowboys COO Stephen Jones, very excited about the playoff push. But What is on the mind of this Cowboys front office as they head into another playoff scenario? Our very own Nick Eatman sits down with Stephen Jones right now.
Well, it's playoff time. Cowboys getting ready to go to Tampa Bay. Everybody's excited. I know this guy's excited right here. Stephen Jones, Cowboys Chief Operating Officer. I'm Nick Eatman, and it's like I said, it's time to go. I mean, this is what you've been waiting for all year, and I know you can't look ahead, but no reason to look ahead now. You got Tom Brady and the Bucs at Tampa Bay. Can't get much better than that, other than being at home. But still, it's time to go play.
Well, it is time, and certainly we've had a great year, but it's time to really what it's all about is right now. And certainly no room for error, as we all know in the playoffs. If you don't play your best, then you're going home. So I think everybody understands this is what we've been playing and working so hard for, was to get to this point. And certainly now we're going to go on the road against Tampa. We look forward to it, and really think that this team's ready to go to work here and do some really special things, hopefully.
You've got every loss this year you've followed up with at least 2 wins, sometimes 3 or 4 wins. What does it say? Is it really that mantra of resilience that Mike McCarthy keeps talking about all year long, is that you can put a game, even like the Washington one, in the rearview mirror and go focus on the next game?
Absolutely. This is a great group of men, and they practice hard from the start, going all the way back to when they started their off-season workouts. We've got great leadership on this team, starting with Dak Prescott. It's a great group of men who really know, I think, what it takes to win in this game. And as I said, we're going to have a big challenge. We're playing against probably the greatest player to ever play the game. If you look at the number of rings he's won and what he's done as a quarterback, certainly we've had our challenges against him. But this is what it's about. And we're going to go down there and take our football team down there and go to work.
You know, it seems like years ago when it was week 1 and playing Tampa Bay in that first game. Talk a little bit about that game, and do you think it matters of what happened there? Does it even matter of what's going to happen here Monday night?
Well, I think you always want to learn from something. Obviously, we didn't play as well as we wanted to. We lost Dak there late in the fourth quarter, but we just didn't come out ready to play football that day, and hats off to Tampa Bay. They played at a really high level. Certainly, Tom Brady got another win against the Cowboys, but that's in the rearview mirror now. We've got to go out and play our brand of football, offense, defense, special teams, and think we'll do that.
What is your level of concern with the interceptions with the Dak? It keeps piling up here, especially the ones that return for touchdowns. But do you like the level of aggressiveness that he's playing with?
Yeah, I mean, I have no concern. I mean, no one knows how important protecting the ball is more than Dak Prescott. And, you know, he is aggressive. He wants to move the ball. He's been one of the best in the business since he's returned from his injury. But at the same time, he knows we have to protect the ball. Same holds true for the defense. We all know how important those takeaways are. You win that battle in the NFL, there's a good chance you're going to win a football game that comes with that. So we all understand we have to protect the ball. We all understand we need to take the ball away. This is something that's got to be across the board, and if we take care of that, there's a good chance we might like the outcome.
Thank you, Stephen. All right, Kyle, back to you.
Thank you very much, Nick. And if you want to catch the entire interview with Stephen Jones, you can go online to DallasCowboys.com. When we come back, things get tough for this Cowboys team. What type of matchups do they have to take a look at against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers? How do you get your first win against what they call the GOAT?
This segment was brought to you by Salvation Army. Love Beyond. This segment is brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas.
He's undefeated against the Cowboys. How much does that matter coming to this game?
It's 2023. It's 2023. He ain't beat us this year, so okay. That's all I'm worried about.
You have to love the confidence from J-Ron Kearse as the safety says it's a new year, it's a new Cowboys. However, it's the same Tom Brady, and his Buccaneers have been dominant throughout his tenure, winning a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Of course, 6 more or so, I think, with New England. One of those was against the Isaiah Stanback here in the New York Giants, but Isaiah took that ring from him. He might have 8 if it wasn't for him. Now, Barry, you've beaten Tom Brady before. We're going to hear from Isaiah about the film room with Tom Brady. What makes him special?
Look, Tom Brady's the GOAT for a reason. And when the playoffs come around, I feel like he steps it up to a totally different level. I mean, this is one of the most patient quarterbacks that I've ever seen play the game because he can kill you with 1,000 cuts by simply taking what the defense gives you. But that, to me, is why the trenches are so important. If you can pressure this guy, you can get him off of his mark in the pocket, then you can make even the great Tom Brady look pedestrian.
You know, that's easy to say about Tom, but no, who's done it on a consistent basis? What conference, what league? No one has stopped. He's the GOAT for a reason because he's the ultimate guy in preparation. He tells his guys what to do. He can stop in the middle of a play call and tell the receiver, this is be open, run this route, and the receiver does it, and it goes to the house. This guy's the boss, and we have to respect him.
And you heard both of these guys just talk about it. Tom Brady has the same amount of playoff wins as the entire Dallas Cowboys organization. That tells you exactly how much playoff experience this guy has and exactly why he's considered a GOAT. There's nothing he hasn't seen.
Yeah, it's really interesting looking at his numbers and his career as a whole. It's going to be even better to break down the film in the next segment with Isaiah, so don't go anywhere. Let's talk about the guys he's throwing the football to, Isaiah, because you've got Mike Evans, you've got Chris Godwin, even Julio Jones, who hasn't had the best season. He's still Julio Jones. Who's the biggest threat out of that Buccaneers wide receiving core?
If you had to isolate one guy, it has to be Mike Evans. And that's simply because you want to get up in these guys' face and pressure them, because if you don't, then he's gonna literally take what you put in front of him. He's gonna take those 5-yard throws. These guys aren't having to run long routes. He's getting into their hands and they're going to get in yak yardage. But if you do step up, Mike Evans is a man that can beat you over the top.
I watched a little film on Chris Godwin, man. He scares me, man. He kind of like C.D. Lamb. If you get him the ball early enough, he can make some plays. He can go to the house. So Chris Godwin really scares me how we're going to handle him in the slot.
They've got multiple weapons on the outside, but they've also got some in the backfield. You talk about Leonard Fournette. He went for 127 yards on the ground against the Cowboys in Week 1, but he also has 73 receptions as a running back. Barry, how tough does that make it on a defense?
Look, this tandem is extremely tough when you talk about Fournette and White. You know, these both are physical running backs, and like you mentioned, they catch the ball out of the backfield extremely well. This is the area of the game that the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to shut down, because I believe that Tom Brady does his best work when he has a balanced attack and he's able to use that play action pass to his advantage. If the Cowboys can shut down this facet of the game, force the Bucs to rely solely on Tom Brady's arm to be productive, dropping back 40 to 50 times, then I feel like it plays right into Dan Quinn's hands. He'll be able to use those pass rushers to get after him, and they'll be able to take advantage and maybe walk away with a W.
On top of that, he's one of the best chip blockers, you know, on defensive end. So I know my boy Parsons going to know where he's at. But, hey, don't let his speed fool you. I've been watching film. This dude is a lot faster than he looks.
No doubt about that. This defense is also faster than they look. My goodness, they've got some guys that can get after the football. One guy that played at your former university, Vita Vea, right there in the middle, Joe Tryon as well. What do they bring to the table defensively that's going to get after Dak Prescott in the offense?
They have size at the first level and speed at the second and third. I mean, that's kind of the makeup of this team. They want to take away the run, even though they only have a 3-man front, but those guys at the second level can run and hit.
Yeah, these guys are extremely talented, especially at the linebacker level with Levante David and Devin White. But where this team has fallen off is the rushing defense. Last year, they were ranked pretty high. Now they're giving up 120 yards per game. This is where Kellen Moore and this offense has got to take advantage, use that combination, that thunder and lightning with Zeke and Pollard, and get the job done.
Nearly 25% of Leonard Fournette's yardage this year has been against the Cowboys on the ground, because most of it's been through the air. So that defense is going to be interesting all the way through to see them kind of flip back and forth. But we're going to flip on the film when we come back here on Special Edition. Isaiah Stanback breaks down his former teammate Tom Brady. Tell you how the Cowboys can either be beaten by him or beat him when we come back.
This segment was brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas.
Welcome back to Special Edition from the Star in Frisco as we get you set for the wild card matchup between the Cowboys and Buccaneers. We've got Isaiah Stanback here, who not only is a Super Bowl champion, but he also was a former teammate of Tom Brady, and he won that Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the Patriots back in the day with the New York Giants. But now we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, right? And how does Tom Brady continue to stay lethal this deep into his career? There's a couple reasons that he's able to do so, and it starts off by thinking outside the box. Why is he still so different when he's been around for so long?
He just understands everything that's out there, okay? There's nothing that you're going to throw at him that he's never seen before. And because of that, it allows for him to be able to pick you apart a little bit at a time. We have a perfect opportunity right here to take a look at it. Most of the time when you see defenses trying to do what? Trying to light him up, right? They want to put pressure on Tom Brady. Everybody knows he doesn't like pressure up the middle, okay? So what do? As a normal quarterback, you would sit your guys in and have your running back sit back and block. Not so much, my friend, okay? When he feels pressure, these guys bluff on this particular one, but he actually sits his running back and says, nah, don't block. Go to where they're vacating their space and sit right there for a high precision pass. Let's see it play through. Here they are. They fake the look. They bail out, but where does he go? Whoop! Sits right there. That is an easy, literally pitch and catch. That's like playing with catch with your son in the backyard. Okay, 5-yard dump, gives it to his guy, and they go out there and get some yak yardage. He thinks outside the box. When most guys would sit back, he gets his guys out for easy passes.
And what does Dallas do well? Stay aggressive and get after a quarterback. So there's going to be some opportunities that look just like that coming up on Monday night. But he also takes what the defense gives him. Why is that so important to his game that teams will allow him to have certain areas of the field and he's still able to take it?
Yeah, well, they're at the bottom of the league in terms of running, okay? But they utilize quick passes and screen games as their running game, okay? So if you guys are sitting back here and you want to play off coverage, you can't, okay? You guys need to come up and apply some pressure because he knows right off the bat that this is man-to-man. If he knows that's man-to-man, then what is he going to instruct his guys to do? Go up here, set a pick. Go up here, set a pick. He knows that you're going to follow him, right? You're going to follow these guys in, so I'm going to tell my guy to go out to a flat route, high precision pass, once again, get the ball in his hands and allow for some, again, yards after the catch. There he is, Auden going out to the flat. He does a great job catching it. Now he's going to turn up the sideline, turns a 5-yard pass into a 20-yard gain. He takes what the defense gives him. If you want to play off and try to play bend but don't break defense, he will literally move the chains on you all day long.
Okay, so taking what the defense gives you, thinking outside the box, but what about execution? He can still do that at a high level, and what does he do on this play that really shocks you?
It's pretty disrespectful, actually, Kyle. Okay, so here we are sitting in cover 2. All right, easy look, okay? Defensive backs are going there. Go out to the flat, drop, drop, drop. All right, these are your responsibilities. All right, most of the time, you split the field right down the middle. Okay, these safeties over here have the responsibility to that half of the field, this half of the field. So anything that's coming down the field in regards to a route outside is taken away by that safety on that side of the field. All right, until you have TB12 at quarterback. This man right here is built differently. That's why he's been around for 23 years. So as you guys see it right here, snap the ball. Okay, where's TB12's eyes go immediately? Immediately goes to this side of the field, the 3-man concept. So this defensive back is doing what? Eyes here, eyes here. He somehow gets the guys going over that direction, which is fine, but what do we say? His responsibility is to do what? To go all the way out here. In order to get that guy to bite, he pump fakes. Play it through, watch the pump fake, boom. He pump fakes it there. Now he's going over the top to Evans, all the way outside. Somehow, some way gets past the defender who is supposed to be out there waiting because he got a little bit too nosy. He is able to move 2 safeties with 2 moves and then get the ball into Mike Evans. Most people think he's 45. He can't throw the ball that far. Stay on your assignments and your alignments because if not, he's going to take full advantage of you.
No wasted motion from Tom Brady. Just 1, 2, boom, and the entire defense went to the opposite side of the field. Dallas is going to have to stay assignment heavy all the way through Monday night if they're going to have some success. Where else can they have some success? Maybe their own quarterback position. Is Dak Prescott the key to taking down the Buccaneers in wild card round, playoff round number 1?
Special edition presented by AT&T was brought to you by Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
It is playoff week around the Star in Frisco. Wild card round between the Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as we wrap things up on Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, and Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Gentlemen, what's your key to the game? The Cowboys moving on to the divisional round.
Come put pressure on these receivers. Please put pressure on these receivers. If you give space, you're going to give up big plays.
To me, it's simple. Take care of the football. Turnovers are the fastest way to be one and done in the playoffs.
Ooh. Tyler, be honest, I don't know where you sit, but you got to be starting for the Dallas Cowboys down in Tampa, Florida. This offensive line is dependent on you.
That's a big one. Nate, what's your prediction?
We'll barely get by. 1 point.
1 point win for the Dallas Cowboys. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That does it for us on Special Edition. For Isaiah, Barry, Nate, I'm Kyle, and our entire Dallas Cowboys crew. Enjoy playoff time. Go Cowboys against the Buccaneers.